Hi, my name is Robert Johnson, and I'm the pastor of New Hanover Presbyterian Church, and this is your daily devotion for today, Tuesday, October the 27th of 2020. It's only a few days now until the presidential and other elections here in the United States, and the closer we've gotten to those elections, the more apocalyptic the language seems to be getting, and it just gets worse and worse. I'm actually recording this on Sunday, and I read an article today in the newspaper that talked about how people on both sides are fearing some sort of cataclysm, that no matter who wins the election, the other side believes that freedom and safety and culture and everything else is doomed. And, so one side is saying, we're going to have to pick up arms. The other side says we're going to have to come up with some sort of mass strategy to put this down. And if it sounds dangerous to you, that's because it is. One of the things about human beings is that they have self-fulfilling prophecies. They make happen what they think is going to happen. So what do you think is going to happen? And I mean that in a conclusive way. What do you think is going to happen? Do you believe that we're in danger of collapse no matter who's elected? Do you believe that if the other person is elected, that it signals somehow or another the end, that the apocalypse is upon us? I want to read you the words of someone who lived in a time in which the apocalypse was expected at any time. They believe that God's will had been so thoroughly thwarted at that time that they expected the end to come at any point. And so, at an open-air meeting, this individual, this teacher, sat down and said these words: "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, because they will find consolation. Blessed are the gentle, because they will have the earth for their possession. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for what is right, because they'll be satisfied. Blessed are those who show mercy, because mercy will be shown to them. Blessed are those whose hearts are pure, because they will see God. Blessed are peacemakers, because they will be called God's children. Blessed are those who are persecuted in the cause of right, for the kingdom of heaven is theirs. And blessed are you when you suffer insults and persecution and calumnies of every type for my sake. Exult and be glad, because you will have a rich reward in heaven. In the same way, they persecuted the prophets who were before you." Of course, the person who spoke those words is Jesus in the Sermon on the Mount. And he looked at people who were expecting the end any day, who knew that God could no longer tolerate the Romans and was going to bring the whole thing crashing down. And he looked at people who were anxious to foment a revolution, and he said this: "Blessed are the peacemakers, because they will be called God's own children." Sisters and brothers, in one way it doesn't matter what's going to come towards us. It really doesn't. Our commission is the same. We're to be the peacemakers. If you are looking around and there are people forecasting doom and gloom, that they're seeing armed insurrection, it's your job to talk them down. It's your job to live peaceably. It's your job not to make it worse. Remember, not making it worse doesn't mean not making it worse just in the way you want it to not be worse. But it means taking into account everybody, bringing about the kind of peace that God desires. If anybody was going to press for the death of the Roman state, it would have been the guy who was about to be executed by it, don't you think? But instead, Jesus' vision was eternity long, not as long as the next presidential term ends. So remember, our job in these last few days before the election is to bring and to make peace. That's how we get recognized as being God's own children. Thank you for watching today, and God bless.